Are you about to retire in the next 10 years? Has your body changed and you've lost your way a little bit? Do you feel like your clothes and your wardrobe have got a bit drab? So what can you do about it? Today I've got my top tips for the over 60s wardrobe and the small steps that you can take to make a huge difference to your outfits and how you feel about your clothes. So let's get started. I know quite a few of you say you really enjoy my videos, so please help me by subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing my videos. I make these videos for free because I want to help as many of you as possible. It tells YouTube that my videos are popular, so shows them to more people, which then draws more traffic to me and means I can make more. If I can ask one thing of you today, I would love it if you could do that for me. So please subscribe, like and comment below. I always reply to all the comments. Ask me a little question about your wardrobe, why not? My name is Michelle Barrow. I've been a personal stylist for 26 years and I now help people like you build wardrobes that mix and match easily. Today I'm particularly talking to the over 60s. I have quite a few clients that fall into this category. And I wanted to help those of you that feel overwhelmed by your wardrobes and feel like they're not working anymore. I've got several tips for you today that will definitely help you get started in creating that wardrobe of your dreams. Now, one of the first things that you want to do is declutter, but there are several steps that you need to take before you even think about decluttering. This is how I work with clients when I work with them privately. By the way, if you are overwhelmed with your wardrobe, definitely book in for a little chat with me. It's about 15 minutes, entirely free. We can have a little chat and I can talk to you about how I might be able to help you. I'll put the link to that here and in the notes. The first thing that we always do is look at colour. Now, why is that important? You might say to me, well, I'll wear whatever colour I want, and you're absolutely right. When I do a colour analysis for people, I always say to them to pick around 8 colours from that colour palette that they like best. And sometimes I help clients choose the colours if they're not sure which ones to go for. The reason why this works and it helps you focus on your wardrobe is because when you declutter, you can think about removing colours that don't work for that palette. You don't do that entirely. There are lots of other factors that go into removing an item from your wardrobe, but colour is just one thing that can really help you look and start to remove what's not working. I did a 2-hour wardrobe edit with a client very recently, and when we'd finished, at the start we had rails and rails of clothes, but when we finished, she had a very concise colour palette and everything she owned mixed with something else. It depends on how extreme you want to go with this, but it really does work if you choose those colours. Now, whether you come and have a colour analysis with me done, whether you've had one done before, whether you just try and look online, it's entirely up to you and your budget. But please try and look at what colours work for you and then think about what colours you like from that. Now, if you do get a colour analysis done or you look online and you think, well, I don't like half of those colours, fine, ignore them. Nobody is forcing you to wear something you don't want. In fact, what you like is very, very important. So yes, colour is a huge factor when thinking about how your wardrobe can work for you, particularly if you are about to retire, updating your wardrobe. This is the perfect way to get started. Next up, think about the cuts and styles that work best for you. Now, when I do a colour analysis, you probably have heard me talk about this before, I do a body type style guide as well, because I feel that for most clients that works best. Here's the colours that work for you. Here's the types of styles and cuts that work for your body type, so people can make better informed decisions. You don't have to define it by body type. I just put it into body type because then it makes it more palatable and easier for people to understand. But essentially, the whole premise behind that is about knowing what cuts and styles work best for you. Now, if you're quite short, or maybe you've put on quite a lot of weight around your middle, and maybe you're an apple shape and you want to kind of draw the eye down, then I would definitely go for darker colours. I would go for V-necks, I would go for scoop necks, I would go for jewellery that hangs quite low, I would go for scarves that hang quite low to go to here. I would avoid anything that's boxy and flary around your middle area. Now, I say this all the time and I'm on an absolute mission to try and change this, that most brands, when somebody has put on a bit of weight, or particularly when you're over 40, over 50, they will try to start targeting clothes that are like tents to you. I am on a mission to encourage women to feel good about yourself. It doesn't matter what age you are, it doesn't matter what shape you are. What we want to do is enhance your best features where you're now, so you feel good where you're at now. Do not drape yourself in loads of fabric. Don't drape yourself in dull colours because society thinks you should fade into the background. Do the absolute opposite. So yes, knowing the types of cuts and styles work for you can make a huge difference as well. If you need help with that, book in for a chat with me and I can talk to you about how I might be able to help you. Now next, we want to think about your lifestyle. We've looked at colours and styles that would work for you. They're the more aesthetic side of things. The next thing we want to look at is your lifestyle. What do you do? Or what are you going to be doing? If you are going to be retiring, my client at the moment, she's about to retire, which is why she's editing out a lot of her wardrobe. Have you worn very corporate clothes for the last 40 years and now you're not going to need them? What are you planning on doing? Are you going to go walking more, hiking? Where do you live? Do you live in a seasonal climate? Do you live in a very hot climate? Have you got two homes? Have you got one in Florida and one in Colorado? Where do you live and where do you need help? Think about the practicalities of what you actually need and what you've worn. A really good way of assessing what you're wearing is whenever you wear something, turn the hanger around the other way. By the end of the season or year, you can see exactly what you've worn and what you haven't. And that can help you decide what to keep and what to remove. The reason why people become overwhelmed with their wardrobes is partly because they can't see the wood for the trees. There's so much stuff that they can't see. I had a client last week and she pulled out something. She said, I should wear this more, but I kind of forgot it was there because there were so many items. And then now she can see it and she'll probably wear those pieces that actually would work much better for her, but they were hidden by everything else. So think about your lifestyle. What's the weather like? What are the practicalities of what you're going to be doing? If you've been in a corporate world and now you're going to be going hiking or walking the dog all the time, then you're not going to need all those corporate suits. So you can start thinking about putting that aside. So practicalities of lifestyle is really important. Now, next up is probably one of the most important ones, and that is, what do you like? If you feel like your wardrobe's a bit frumpy, you've lost your way, or you try to get inspiration by buying things that are a little bit more quirky or a little bit more fashionable, but then never worn them because you don't know what to wear them with, this is the piece that is the most important part. Now, one of the ways you can do that is to open up a Pinterest board. If you've never used Pinterest before, I have a video on how to use it. I'll put the link to that in the notes so you can take a look at that as well. Just pin items you like. Now, what I sometimes find with private clients is that they've lost their way. So they go for the same rotation of things over and over again. Maybe they're V-neck t-shirts and jeans. And then they try and get something with a bit of a frill or fuss around the collar, and they never wear it because A, they don't know what to wear it with, and B, it doesn't quite feel right. Sometimes the problem is that you're going for things that are a little bit quirky or a little bit different to what you would usually go for because you feel like you should, but then when you put them on, you're not actually that keen on them. So the most important thing is working out what you actually like. In that instance, you can do something interesting with the styles you've already been wearing, but it's just how you put them together. If you mainly go for V-neck navy blue t-shirts, for example, maybe you buy one that's bright red and link that with a bright red pair of trainers. You just do it like that rather than going for things that have got frills and fuss. Think about how it's coordinated. What you like is very, very important. Always look for inspiration. Be mindful of what you actually like and don't get swayed by what's in fashion for the sake of it being in fashion. Get some inspiration from Pinterest. Get some inspiration when you're walking down the street and you see what someone's wearing. Ask them where they got it. People are always happy to be complimented on what they're wearing. That will make a huge difference as well. So take time with that and work out what you like. Go in some shops which are aimed at the younger generation and have a look at what's out there. Just have a little look at what's in and what's trending at the moment and see if you feel inspired by any of it. If you really need help with that, definitely book in for a chat with me and we'll have a little chat about how I can help you. Next up is probably one of the most important ones. Think about your budget. If you're on a budget, look at pre-loved. Always try and buy the best quality that you can, because particularly at this time of life, if you're looking to build a wardrobe that's going to last, you want to buy the best quality you can. You think about Vinted or Poshmark or whatever's available in your area. Sometimes you can buy pieces that look probably if ever been worn. They've been worn once or twice, or they've still got the tags on. It's amazing what you can get for a much better budget. My daughter and her generation, age 19, do this all the time. This is how they shop now. They predominantly shop pre-loved. It's very normal now. So take advantage of that if you are on a budget. Think about your budget. Think about where you want to be. Take it slowly. A wardrobe that works for you will not happen overnight. You need to take your time with it. If that means you spread it out over a couple of years, then you spread it out. It's much better to get it right by all the inspiration, the colour, the cut. Think about your lifestyle, what you like, and get all those things right rather than rushing it. Now, the next one is in relation to my download. So I've got a download which is Capsule Wardrobe Planner. In my opinion, a capsule wardrobe is a wardrobe that mixes and matches easily without all the fuss. It's not 100 items, it's not 33 items. I don't care how many items you've got in your wardrobe. It's what works for you and your lifestyle. Every single one of you will be different. Some of you might have 20 items, some of you might have 1,000 items. But the biggest thing you can do once you've looked at all these different aspects I've been talking about today is to declutter. Take into account the colours you've chosen, the styles and cuts that work for you, your lifestyle now, whether that's changing, the climate you live in, the budget you've got and what you like, the inspiration from your Pinterest board. Think about all of those things. One thing that I will say to you, and this is really important, is don't declutter to the point where you have nothing else to wear. You've got to do it in a way which they are items that you just literally are not wearing at the time. Turn the hangers around, you can see for the last 6 months you've not worn any of those items. You just look at it, you think, I'm probably not going to wear that again. 90% of the time when I do wardrobe edits with people, they know pretty much what they can get rid of and what they can't. I did a wardrobe edit with a client about a month ago, and we ended up getting rid of 260 items of clothes. She thought she'd already eliminated loads of it, but we still managed to get rid of more. When you've got somebody else with you, you can go, do you know what? I can probably get rid of this too. If it's a maybe, put it in a maybe pile and see if by the end of the season you've gone for anything in that pile. If you haven't, then sell it or donate it. The biggest thing you can do to make your wardrobe work is by eliminating the fuss. And I would use all the guidelines that I've given you already to help you make those decisions. Next up is two things that are the final two that I want to talk to you about, and they also will come into the declutter. The first one is things that are worn out. So maybe the button's fallen off something, maybe the zip's broken, maybe it's got a hole in it, and it was your best thing and you wore it loads, it's got a stain on it. If you are going to fix it yourself or get someone else to fix it, put it in a pile right by your front door so you take it to get fixed today, tomorrow, very quickly. So you're tripping over it as you walk out the door every time and you can't ignore it. If it's not able to be fixed, then you need to think about altering it in some way. Maybe you can stitch something onto it. Aim to actually do whatever you need to do with it. Now, if it's not going to work, then maybe you get rid of it and find something similar. But this is really important. Don't clutter your wardrobe up with things that have got holes in that you intend to do something with, you never do it. Now, next up is sizing. I know a few of you have said you're fluctuating in size, it's really common, and you'll say to me, I feel like I need to keep this because I am losing a bit of weight and I'm aiming to get to this size, so I'm going to keep these things. I think that's totally reasonable, but put them aside for the time being. Then if you reach that weight, you can still get them. If you don't, by the end of at least a season, if not 2 seasons at the very most, then I would consider getting rid of them because maybe you won't make that target weight, whether it's putting it on or losing it. All that's doing is reminding you of what you're not. It is okay to have different sizes in your wardrobe. Please have the vast majority of what's in front of you every day is what you fit now, and then maybe have some items aside which you can access if and when you get to that size. Now, after you've done all this work, and you know what colours work for you and what styles work for you, you've got your sizes lined up, you've thought about your lifestyle, you're like, yeah, I'm going to be walking the dog, so I need jeans, I need my boots. You have looked at your climate that you live in, you thought about your budget and how long it's going to take you. The last thing you want to do is fill it up with a load of rubbish that you're not going to wear. Shop with intention. From now on, think very carefully, where am I going to wear that? What am I going to wear it with? Does the colour suit me? Does the style suit me? Is the material good for me? Does it feel good on my skin? Is it better for the environment if that's important to you? And does it fit me? Whenever you bring anything into your wardrobe, think about that. Whenever I buy anything, I'm thinking about that myself. Even when I get gifted clothes for videos, they'll send me a page of what I choose from, and I still actually think carefully about what will go with the rest of my wardrobe. I don't just get things for the sake of getting them. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments. It's a lot to take in. I know it is. It's a hell of a lot for you to take in, but just do it in little bits. Stop and start the video if you need to. Tell your friends. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me bring more videos to you. Comment below. Let me know what you found useful. Let me know what you're going to implement. Let me know what you've done before. And have a wonderful week. I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.